letter I wrote to myself in like 7th grade, Dear Future Carrie, and it said something about adopting children. And I don't remember why I thought that or knew that or wanted to do that, but it's just kind of always been in my mind, and it's something we talked about when we were dating, and especially when we were engaged.
We started our adoption process in January of 2012, and once we did land on Ghana, we started, researching more about Ghana.
So we had no connection to the country beforehand, but we've grown to love it and appreciate it, and
yeah.
Actually, Ghana put a hold on adoptions right at about the 6-month mark for us when we thought we were getting close.
So it was like we were like in the front of the line.
Yep.
And then the line stopped moving.
Yes.
We had his room painted way before, and at a certain point it was just like depressing seeing the room, so we closed the door.
You have no control over making it happen, so we just had to trust God and wait, and trust God and wait some more.
Love the Honeycutt family. I first got to know them because they go to our church, Grace Church, and Carrie she still works on staff at Grace. So through that, her and I started talking about adoption, which is so fun because I've gotten to kind of follow their story all the way. Of course, I was praying for them a lot, just praying that God would clear the path, that they would be able to get what they needed from a government standpoint.
It was a tough wait. It's like you're waiting for a phone call.
In high school, I did a peer facilitating, and I was a buddy to a girl who had Down syndrome. I taught her how to play the piano. And I remember coming home, I had ridden the bus with all these kids with special needs, and I was like, Mom, this is my favorite place to be. He told me how he went to something called Jesus Prom, and he and a bunch of guys in college drove down to be dates for people with special needs. His date was a girl with Down syndrome, and I was like, okay, he's the one. So we've always kind of talked about how God's kind of filled us with a passion for kids with special needs. We didn't know anybody that had adopted. The people that have been most influential. I mean, at first it was the Honeycutts. We went over to their house and they told us all about fundraising and their process. Some people will fill out all their paperwork like the Honeycutts did and then wait to be matched with a child. Our son was on a waiting list.
Carrie was in Vegas, so I call Carrie and wake her up at 7, and she answers the phone. Hello. And I say, hey, Catherine just called. We got our referral. And Carrie's like, shut up. No, shut up. And I'm like, I will not shut up. This is for real.
As soon as we hung up with her, she posted it on our online portal, and we're on the phone and we're both pulling it up. And the first picture we see of Miles, he is sitting on the floor with a little red car in his hand, and he has a blue shirt and it says Scotland on it.
At that point, anything they sent us, we would have been like, oh, he's so cute. But Miles is like stupid cute, like stock photo cute. And so we're like gaga over these pictures of him because he's got these big brown eyes and he's looking up into the camera. We met him on December 4th. We get taken to Miles's foster home, and his foster mom was great. He attached to her really well, and so he's like eyeing us like, I don't know what I think about you guys. Like, he was not a fan, and so she tried to give him to us, and he would not let her.
He was just screaming and like, no, because we were complete strangers. He'd probably never seen white people before.
Happy birthday to you.
His birthday was December 5th, so the second day we knew him, we threw him a birthday party.
So we went to like the supermarket, and they had cakes in the bakery section. There was not a single cake that said happy birthday. The one we got, I think, said I love you.
I love you.
Yay! It's one of those things, even though he won't remember it, we were there for his first birthday, and that
was really special. Hi, buddy. At the end of the week, he legally became our son.
And because he was so attached to his foster mom, it was really, really hard for the first few days.
He had already lost, at some point, his biological parents, and now he had lost another parent. Slowly, we did build that trust. See the light? Yeah.
Miles is so attached to them and them to him, and I think I mean, that probably would have happened anyway, but I think it happened a lot faster because they had all that time in Ghana together.
We did finally get his visa, and on that day, like, we've got a picture of us in the taxi after we passed, and Miles had no idea what was going on, but he knew.
He could sense our excitement and our joy.
His name is Rhett. His name in Bulgaria is Stefan, so his full name here is going to be Rhett Louis Stefan Perry. He turned 2 at the end of July, and he has Down syndrome. And we were so fortunate to actually be able to go meet him in August.
It was just a crazy, crazy experience to meet him for the very first time. And I mean, he obviously didn't know who we were, and I'm sure it was a little weird for him because we had been thinking about him, praying for him, and loving him for the past, 6 months or so?
6 or 7 months, yeah. It truly was this instant love.
Just amazed by the beard.
And Gigi.
By the beard? Yeah, just the beard.
It was really probably the hardest thing that we've ever done, leaving.
And that was really rough.
We're gonna come back for you.
For as much as we prepped and read about adoption and attachment and things like that, it's another thing in reality to have a toddler kind of dropped in on your life.
Now we have to actually raise him and teach him things, and we know that it takes more than just parents to speak into a kid's life, and so we need our church to help us.
For us, it was important to dedicate Miles and really dedicate our whole family to raising Miles in a way that honors God and that points Miles toward Jesus. And obviously our church family has been such a big part of that, and our family. So my parents came up just for the occasion, and that was really, really special for them to be there.
Hi. Oh, hello.
Mama.
Miles, good job. Whoa. Miss Moore? 2 miles.
We're just trying to make the transition as good as possible and keep telling him, here's what to expect, and let him know that we will be there if he wakes up in the middle of the night. And it has been challenging and continues to be challenging. It's also wonderful at the same time. I think that's parenting in a nutshell for anybody.
Yeah.
I love our family of 3 right now, and I wouldn't trade it, even through all the stuff we had to wait on, through all the fees and all the bureaucratic stuff with embassies. God is faithful, and if he calls you to do something, he will accomplish it ultimately.
If he brought you to it, he'll lead you through it. That's what we tell people over and over. And it's just the best thing that we could have done in our family. Good one. What a scary tiger. Rawr! Rawr! He's our boy forever and ever. That's what we always tell him.
I know.
We left on the 11th, and we picked him up on the 14th.
We went to the orphanage and picked him up, and it was we were only there for a half an hour, and he's ours.
Here's your son.
Yeah.
It was just really surreal to go in and be like, oh my gosh, we didn't think this moment was ever going to come, and it was finally there. On our plane ride home, Michael and I were like, oh, I bet there will be 10 people.
Yeah.
We had no clue. All of a sudden, we just heard
50 people there.
so many people cheering, and it was just probably the neatest moment.
Yeah.
Having him home for our first Christmas was incredible.
Yes.
Our transition home has been really wonderful. We had no clue what to expect, but he's been super easy and we feel really lucky. He's just happy all the time. We're just constantly in awe all the time. Like, oh my gosh, our kid is here. I've been dreaming about this kid for 10 years.
He's a bundle of joy.
He is.